With the extreme heat and the heat wave we've had, it's important to stay hydrated, but there are some foods and beverages you want to avoid. And joining me now is Katie Lauro, a registered dietitian nutritionist. Welcome. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being with us. So very important. What are the type of foods that we need to consume?
Well, we want to make sure we're having lots of foods that have a high water content. So that's our fruits and our vegetables. Greens, peppers, cucumbers, our fruits, grapes are really high in water content. As are melons as well. We want to make sure we're also avoiding foods that are dehydrating. So that's very fatty foods, fried foods, foods that are really high in sodium, like fast food, eating out at restaurants, canned foods, packaged foods are going to be high in sodium and cause more dehydration. And then we want to make sure that we're getting a lot of fluids. Of course, water's the best. Some people will go towards sports drinks, but with the sports drinks, we want to make sure we're not having too much sodium or too much sugar. You out on sugar before you're hydrated. So for the average individual, not the elite athlete, water's best.
Water's always the best. How about coffee? Because we love coffee.
Yeah, we want to make sure we're not having too much because it's a diuretic, which means it's going to make you have to go to the bathroom more often. So that's going to get rid of more of your fluid. So coffee, alcohol, again, sugary, salty drinks, we want to make sure that we're keeping that in moderation.
So water's always the best.
Water's the best unless you're an elite athlete. You want to get more electrolytes, but if you need a little extra help, coconut water that's unflavored is great because it's low in sugar. If you have trouble with water, I would add some fruit, add some cucumbers, add some lemon. Just make sure it tastes a little bit better and that you're getting it in.
Yeah, so who's generally more at risk for dehydration?
Toddlers, newborns, people that are ill, especially if they're throwing up or have any other kind of illness where it's more coming out, they're losing more hydration. Elderly, because they actually lose their thirst cues as they get older, and then women that are pregnant or breastfeeding because they have a higher requirement for fluids.
And a lot of times we think we're hungry, and we're really not hungry. We're probably just thirsty. We're dehydrated, or our bodies overheat because of the temperatures, and sometimes we don't even realize that's happening.
So we can lose 2 to 2.5 cups of fluid each day, and that's just from evaporating from our skin, from talking, from breathing, and then sweating. If it's hotter outside, we're sweating more, so we're losing more fluid. So that's why it's more important to be taking in more fluid, whether it's through food or drink, when it's warmer outside. Keep your core temperature down, as well as make sure that on a cellular level you're still hydrated. And you brought up feeling hungry. You can be 3% dehydrated and feel like you're hungry, so you're starting to reach for the chips and the crackers, when I recommend having some water first and see how you feel.
That happens sometimes.
It happens.
And then we realize that we're thirsty. And all of the great, fruit and vegetables, it's also good for the skin, the moisture, and health overall, staying fit and...
Absolutely. And you're getting your vitamins and your minerals, and your electrolytes are minerals, and you'll be getting that from food, real food, rather than getting it from an electrolyte gum or something like that that might be just a little bit of a mimic when we can be getting it from other things.
Great tips. Thank you so much, Katie. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
We're gonna